afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. After landmark changes in the labor law, which took effect in 2021 and were effective from the 2nd of February 2022, in addition to the guidelines, the executive regulation, and the very recently amendments, modification, resolutions that are coming up day after day, there has been a significant change to the labor immigration position in the UAE. And this will be our topic of today. And I will introduce my two panelists, Mr. Hassan Al-Zarquni, Al-Marzouqi, from Al-Marzouqi Law Firm and Associates, and Mr. Barry Harwood from UK Residency Group. Mr. Marzouqi will talk to us about the law and its application, implication, and how it will develop the country further. And Mr. Barry will talk about the application of visas, what's available, and how we can benefit from the different new types of visas available in the country. I will start with Mr. Hassan. In order to enhance the flexibility and productivity within the labor market, new models of work were introduced. Would you kindly explain to us what are these models and how we can use them?
طبعا أول أرحب في الأخوان الموجودين السادة والسيدات الحضور. طبعا المشرع الإماراتي عندنا قام بتعديل أمور كثيرة.
So, ladies and gentlemen, he's greeting all the audience, and he will talk about the law of the United Arab Emirates related to immigration and labor.
طبعا من الأشياء اللي استحدثتها الهيئة الاتحادية للهوية طبعا منظومة تأشيرات تم عملها، اللي هي من ضمنها زيارة استكشاف عمل لمدة 60 يوم، لمدة 90 يوم، لمدة 120 يوم. شروط التقديم على التأشيرة أن تكون من فئة العمال الماهرة، أن يكون الشخص من خريجي 50 جامعة أفضل جامعات بالعالم، ويتم دفع الرسوم اللي هي مطلوبة بالنسبة لاستخراج تأشيرة استكشاف فرصة العمل.
So, what is the immigration department and the federal authorities that they have the law, under the law of the visas that in some countries they need to enter to United Arab Emirates, and there is three types of the visas. It's 60 days and 90 days and 120 days. So it is related to the students and visitors. Some countries that they recommend visa, they need to apply through travel agencies or through some high authorities to get these visas.
أيضا تم استحداث زيارة استكشاف فرصة تأسيس العمل، اللي طبعا مدتها 60 يوم، 90 يوم، 120 يوم. هذا النوع لا يتطلب أن يكون للشخص اللي راح يأسس العمل في الإمارات أن يكون لديه كفيل، هو من نفسه يستطيع أن إقامة شركته.
So related to the labor law, he told me that the person can work and be employed in the company. So there is two types. There is the employment visa for 2 years, and there is employment visa for 3 years. So it depends if the company is a free zone or it is a mainland. If it is a mainland, the person can get employment visa and labor card for 2 years. If it is free zone, so it will be 3 years.
طبعا بالإضافة إلى الإقامة الذهبية والتي هي تمنح للمستثمرين، رواد الأعمال، النوابغ من المواهب، العلماء والمختصين، أوائل الثانوية العامة والخريجين، رواد العمل الإنساني، خط الدفاع الأول.
So related to the golden visa that they awarded to the scientists, engineers, the students with the high mark, and the doctors, and that the people can add value to the United Arab Emirates.
ومن يملك راتب فوق 30,000 يستطيع الحصول على الإقامة الذهبية.
So we have a new information and very valuable information that the lawyer Hassan Al-Marzouqi he just now said, that if you want to apply as an individual, example, you are not a scientist or a doctor or a student or something, you want to apply for the golden visa, you just need to pay 30,000 dirham, and you can be qualified to get the golden visa in United Arab Emirates.
طبعا لها ميزات اللي هي من ضمنها مدتها 10 سنوات ولا تتطلب وجود كفيل، بالإضافة إلى إلغاء شرط عدم التغيب عن الدولة، إصدار تأشيرة للأسرة، ولا يوجد فيها حد أقصى للعمالة المساعدة بالنسبة لأصحاب الإقامة الذهبية.
So what is the benefit for the golden visa, as the lawyer talking, that the golden visa can give you 10 years expiry. So you don't need to have 2 or 3 years or 60 or 90 or 120 days. So 10 years of visa, golden visa, and you can travel and come for you and your respected families when you will apply. Okay. Thank you.
Barry, we understand with the new models of employment come with different types of permits, such as temporary mission, partial work, juvenile, etc. Can you please shed some light on this?
Yes, thank you very much. I hope you can all hear me. My name is Barry Harwood. I'm the International Director and the Group Company Lawyer for UKR Group, which is UK Residency, Blackstone Citizenship, and my own law firm, which is registered in the UK, Harwood Law International. So it comprises of those three companies. I've been a barrister for 24 years, specializing in immigration and employment law, and I am a resident here working for UKR Group based in Business Bay. And I firstly would like to thank Mr. Adnan Al Noorani not only for the fantastic conference, the Future Innovation Summit, and his wonderful speech earlier, but also for the way that he's jumped into being our interpreter for my colleague as well. There is no end to your talents. Thank you very much. So let me talk a little bit about and try and summarize for you some of the key changes that were introduced by the UAE government and the cabinet, and these came into effect on the 3rd of October. So this is really recent, very, very recent. So I'm going to be referring to my phone because I've actually got a list of some of them. And the reason I'm referring to that is that there are a number of expanded routes that the cabinet have introduced. And I have to say that as an English person living and working in Dubai, it's extremely refreshing to see the approach that the government have taken to welcoming all the visitors from every part of the world in different new categories and in extended categories. Some of the detail you've already heard from my colleague Hassan. So I won't go into too much of the detail. Suffice to say that the government have been very far-sighted. I think this is a follow-on from the successful Expo hosting and the wonderful occasion that was in terms of welcoming visitors into the country. So let's talk about the new guidelines. Firstly, there's this wonderful 10-year golden visa. And as you probably know, this is fantastic news for those people that don't want to renew every couple of years or every year if they're coming in other categories. There's also a new 5-year green residency visa, and that's more favorable for skilled workers. And there are multiple tourist entry visas as well, which allow visitors now to stay in the UAE for up to 90 days. The previous limit was 30 days. So this is a major move forward in terms of policy change. The rules are going to have a major impact on tourists. And I think we all saw how efficiently the UAE dealt with the tourists as they arrived for Expo, including working through a pandemic They were magnificent in this country in terms of getting them visas, getting their tests done, and getting them out to Expo. So that was extremely good. So these new visas are for people that wish to visit here as tourists and people that are existing residents. The cabinet, as you know, was chaired by His Highness Sheikh Maktoum, the Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE, and the ruler of Dubai, and they adopted a number of different categories. And this is the detail that I want to share with you. They looked at visitors, residents, families, and people overstaying their visa, and they catered for a wider segment of society. One simple example of that will be old and new. If, for example, one lost a job previously through no fault of your own, you had only 30 days in which to find another job or leave the country. That now has been extended to 180 days, 6 months, in which to secure other work. And for many expats living in the UAE and working here, many of you are working at very senior levels in corporations and companies. You do need that extra time to secure another top job. It isn't possible to pack up your things and go home in 30 days. So again, that was a far-sighted change. Just summarising a couple more changes. There's a review of the residency system which allowed a 2-year extension for the period for dependents, and as I was asked by my colleague Rita, who's moderating, there's a new transit visa. A new decision has been approved which exempts transit passengers coming into Dubai, into the airport, from all entry fees for the first 48 hours. Transit visas can be extended for up to 96 hours for a fee of only 50 dirham. Obtaining a transit visa will be facilitated by a number of express counters at the UAE airports. And I think you know how efficient the airports are when you land in Dubai. I think it's known for how fantastic its airports are. There's then a visa for overstay job seekers, people that are still looking for work and staying here who've overstayed. And the cabinet has adopted a decision to grant people overstaying a visa and a chance to leave the country voluntarily without a no-entry passport stamp. And that's quite significant in terms of their future application. There's also been a new 6-month visa, which is going to be introduced, as I said, for job seekers. And there's a temporary visa which enhances the UAE's position as a land of opportunities and a designation for talents and professionals. So before I talk a little bit more about 1 or 2 other changes, I just want to say how far-sighted this is. Many countries that I deal with within my company, the UKR Group, face a number of hurdles and difficulties in securing visas. We meet those challenges and we overcome them, and we deal with each government's home office, equivalent home office, and over here that's the equivalent in the UAE home office, and they are all different, and this is one of the most user-friendly changes that I've seen for a very long time. I think it's changing the immigration landscape. I want to talk a little bit about some of the golden visa changes, but I think I've probably overspoken, so I'm going to just stop there and pause there and hand back to Rita and Hassan to carry on.
Thank you. Hassan, most recently there has been a lot of confusion between limited contracts and unlimited contracts, and what is the application. And we've had this discussion earlier, so maybe you can share your opinion with our audience.
طبعا في هذه النقطة اللي أتكلم فيها اللي هي بالنسبة للتعديلات الجديدة اللي صارت في قانون العمل الإماراتي، طبعا تم إلغاء العقود الغير محددة المدة.
So by the new law of the United Arab Emirates and the labor law department, there was before limited and unlimited, but now they cancel the limited and they kept it everything unlimited.
حيث أن صدر مرسوم بقانون اتحادي رقم 14 لسنة 2022 بتعديل أحكام القانون رقم 33 على 2022 بالنسبة لقانون تنظيم العمل، والذي دخل حيز التنفيذ تاريخ 2 نوفمبر 2022.
So there is the law number called 30 on 2022. So in November 2022. So sorry.
دخل حيز التنفيذ التعديل الجديد اللي صار
I'm
دخل
sorry.
حيز
Okay.
التنفيذ.
So February 2022, there was this the official government already confirmed that there must not be limited. All the contracts must be unlimited.
حيث ان التعديل الجديد يجوز ان برام العقد لمده محدده قابله للتجديد وفقا لما يتفق عليه طرفي العلاقه التعاقديه دون تحديد سقف اعلى لمده العقد، طبعا ما يتجاوز ال3 سنوات، بما يضمن المرونه والاستقرار في سوق العمل، حيث ان العقود الحاليه اللي موجوده اللي غير محدده المده راح تدخل حيز التنفيذ ويتم تعديلها بعد سنة من دخول القانون للتنفيذ اللي هو بعد تاريخ 2/2/2022. السنة القادمة ما راح يكون عندنا عقود غير محددة المدة.
Okay. So he was telling that the unlimited contracts, what is the benefit of unlimited contracts? There are some people that they had limited contracts before 2022 February, so it will be remain the same. So when the contract will be finished, so automatically will change to unlimited contracts. So what is the benefit for unlimited contracts? That you have free easily that you can terminate the contract, the employee can terminate the contract with the company without any notice, and they can shift their visa easily. And there will be no band, because let's go 5 to 10 years ago, when it was limited and the company was canceling the visa or the employment contract for the employee, they were going banned for 6 months. So you need to have a high degree school to submit it to the labor authorities to remove the band and continue to the next level of visa.
ويجوز مدها لمدد مماثلة لأكثر من مرة. العقد المحدد المدة هي طبعا 3 سنوات كحد أقصى، يجوز أن مدها لمدد مماثلة أكثر من مرة.
So the contract of the unlimited can be renewed for every 2 years or 3 years, depends. It's the mainland company or it is free zone company. So it depends. So you can renew it one more time with the company.
Thank you. So I think if I understand correctly, if I can summarize, that all contracts will be limited going forward. كلهم بيكون محدد المدة going forward للمستقبل. So
جميع العقود بعد سنة من دخول حيز التنفيذ تاريخ 2/2/2022 بعدها بسنة ما راح يكون عندنا العقود اللي سارية كانت في الفترة السابقة اللي هي غير محددة المدة، يعني في 2/2/2023 ما راح نشوف هذا العقد نهائيا، لأن حاليا في عقود موجودة ممتدة، لأن العقد كان مرتبط في الإقامة اللي موجودة عند الموظف.
Yeah. So therefore, going forward from the 2nd February 23, all contracts will be limited. And do you advise that employers change their contracts?
تقول لك تنصح الموظفين يغيرون العقد ولا اوتوماتيكيا؟
اوتوماتيكيا راح يتغير في سنة 2023، ما راح يكون موجود هالعقد اصلا. عندنا هالسنة فترة الحيز، هذه هي فترة التعديل للعقود المحددة المدة، العقود الغير محددة المدة لتحويلها لعقود محددة المدة.
Okay, so the unlimited contract to shift it to limited contracts, it will be on 2023 the maximum. The people after 2023 there will not be unlimited contracts.
Hassan, as well, the new law has emphasized the anti-discrimination element between the employees. Please elaborate on this point and tell us more about what new aspects or elements the law has introduced.
طبعا دولة الإمارات تولي أهمية كبيرة بالنسبة للمستثمرين والعمال اللي متعايشين معنا في المجتمع. طبعا من جميع التعديلات اللي تصير، طبعا الإمارات الحمد لله المشرع الإماراتي عندنا مواكب جميع التغيرات اللي تحصل في العالم واللي حولنا، خاصة في الإمارات. فمن هالأشياء اللي هي قامت فيها بالعكس هذا التعديل العقود والتأشيرات الجديدة اللي نظمتها وعدلتها، هذه كلها تخدم القطاع اللي هو العمال والمستثمرين الأجانب اللي موجودين عندنا في البلد.
So there is some changes happen in the laws of United Arab Emirates past 2-3 years. So we give, as a United Arab Emirates country, we give lot of facilities to the investors and the employment that people, they come abroad from their country to invest or to work in United Arab Emirates. As we tell before in our previous panel, that Dubai is hosting more than 85 nationalities to share their culture, their idea, their knowledge. So as you know as well, that the mainland becomes as a free zone activity. So in free zone, you don't need to have a local partner to build your company. You can be the owner 100% in the license and the manager. Now the mainland, some activities you need to involve the local as a partner to proceed with your activity and with your work. But a lot of activities, the government supported investors to invest in United Arab Emirates, that they don't need the local to be as a sponsor in their license. They can be in mainland company, 100% ownership and manager.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to ask you about more on the no distinction between colors, race, religion. That was my question about non-discrimination and anti-discrimination.
بالنسبة لهذا الشيء، طبعا أصدرت دولة الإمارات في هذا الشأن المرسوم بقانون رقم 2 لسنة 2015 بشأن مكافحة التمييز والكراهية، حيث أن هذا القانون يقوم بنبذ ويجرم الأفعال والأقوال التي من شأنها إثارة الفتن والنعرات والتمييز بين أفراد المجتمع.
So
قانون التمييز والكراهية رقم 2 لسنة 2015.
Okay, so there was a law about the races and الكراهية. There was a law about the rises and hatreds that who will do in United Arab Emirates. It was Article 2 and on 2015. 2015. So the government issued about the haters and races that no any person can hate or make races or make or point a finger to say this is your religion, this is your color, this is your nationality. All of them will be judged. Doesn't matter. It can be UAE national or can be any nationality, any position, any title. The leadership make a great achievement to say, that's why I tell about the United Arab Emirates is the country of justice and equality. So that's why the leaders, they support these things, and the United Arab Emirates is the safetiest country. Thank you.
طبعا من ضمنها احترام الأديان، الإسلام والمسيحية واليهودية. طبعا عندنا في القانون هذا لم جميع الجوانب، يعني ما عنده تمييز لا في الدين ولا في العرق ولا في اللون ولا في الجنس.
So he's telling that we don't have any difference between all the religions or culture or any nationality. We respect everything in United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
We are all one. Thank you.
This is very good news for women as well in the workforce, that there is no distinction between men and women in workforce.
Can I just pick up on that diversity point? The diversity point that Mr. Adnan is talking about is really critical, because as a visitor to this country and working in this country from the UK, I learned that 1 in 8 people are Emirati. The rest are from every other country around the world. And therefore, this country seems to celebrate diversity. But one final thing I would say is that during the pandemic, when this country were dealing with it extremely well, others were not having the same good experience. We were all working differently. We're all working at home. We're all working over the internet. And this summit is very, very apt, the Future Innovation Summit. And I can see why, because what the Emirates have done, particularly the UAE, is they have embraced that changed and developed it in terms of the policies that they've now introduced for introducing many more categories of visa, welcoming many more nomad type of workers, including internet workers. Give you an example, my law firm is registered in the UK, but I can operate my law firm from here remotely with people in the UK. I do not need to be in the UK to be operating that law firm. That's very far-sighted. And not many countries have embraced that. Even the courts had to go online in terms of the pandemic. So everything still moves, but it moves in the right direction. Final point, education. Education is vital for our young people, for our older generation, and for all of us. And again, the UAE has got a far-sighted education policy as well in terms of encouraging many students and older people to still be supported by their parents up to the age of 25 now, as opposed to the previous age of 18. So again, it's a wonderful place to be, and thank you for your time.
Yes, if I may add there, 25 for the male, and females will be supported by their family until whenever they want. Hassan, I would like to ask you about what the UAE has done to the workforce in general and why it is distinctive in this area, in the region, how we are distinctive from the other countries.
I prefer you tell them in Arabic better, because
طبعا الدولة عندنا ما قصرت مع الشباب الإماراتي على أساس دعمه في مشاريع التجارية اللي يقوم فيها. وفرت له جميع الاحتياجات لضمان استمراره في المشروع اللي قايم فيه والديمومة فيها. طبعا صدر لنا قانون جديد في الفترة الأخيرة اللي هو نصف المادة 6 التعويض ضد العطل عن العمل، اللي هو التعطل عن العمل يستلم خلالها الشاب الإماراتي اللي قايم بالمشروع اللي هو يعمل في جهة وتم مثلا انهاء خدمات لأي سبب كان، يضمن ان حصوله على 60% من الراتب وبحد أقصى 20,000 لمدة 3 أشهر. هذا الشيء يعطي ضمانة حق المواطن اللي يعمل في القطاع الخاص، يضمن أن يستمر في عمله وإنتاجيته.
So, as you know, as the United Arab Emirates, past 7-8 years ago, they helped the new students that they want to start their businesses. We have a department in United Arab Emirates. It's only related to Emiratis business setup and the ages between 21 to 28. So they support the government funds and support all the product that they have. And they create for them a great successful in business. So as a United Arab Emirates, as I told you, we are a country that we support all the startups. So it's the best place to make a business, it's the best place to start any mission you have. Thank you.
Thank you for that. But Hassan, you did mention about the insurance with respect to employees losing their jobs, 3 months payment.
طبعا الدولة وفرت عندنا بالنسبة للمواطن الضمان الاجتماعي. طبعا الضمان الاجتماعي تدفع فيه اشتراك شهري يضمن لك انك انت تحصل على الراتب التقاعدي في حالة العجز. وبالنسبة للفصل عن العمل مثل ما ذكرت اللي هو 60% من الراتب لمدة 3 أشهر بحد أقصى 20,000. هذا اللي وفرته الدولة بالنسبة للمواطن. أما بالنسبة للأخوان الأجانب، طبعا في شركات تأمين موجودة في الإمارات في التأمين ضد فقد العمل بالنسبة للموظف اللي هو غير مواطن.
So there is 2 laws. One is for the Emiratis employment and what is for the foreign employment. So the Emirati employment, they have the insurance if in future if they terminate their contract, they will have support from the government and 3 months salary. So if in future he become old in age and he retire, still the government pay him every month. So this is for the Emiratis nation. So related to the foreigners, so if there will be an insurance, so if something happened, let's say God bidden, health issue, there was terminated or there was any resigned or anything, the insurance will cover 3 months salary for the employment from the basic salary, not from the total salary. And then the contract, we have a transportation fee, we have allowance fee, and we have the total amount of the salary. So from the basic salary, they will calculate and they will do the needful. Thank you.
Thank you, but that's subject up to 20,000 dirhams per month.
Yes.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for this very interactive session. And I would like to open the floor to the audience. If you have any questions that you would like to address us.